Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here at a library. It is our last trip, and I wanted to introduce you to Thule.
Hi, and greetings from Muskogee, Oklahoma. Thank you for asking me here today.
Well, thank you for being along on the celebration tour. What are you feeling? This is our last day of the tour.
Well, I'm feeling nervous because it was amazing, and I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about being in one place most of the time, but also really excited to that because we won't be in a car so much, because that was like really the main hard thing about the trip, being in a car so much.
That was one of your more challenging things. What was one of the more exciting things about the celebration tour?
One of the more exciting things was getting to visit all the beautiful and diverse libraries all across the country.
Do you have a favorite or a favorite memory you'd like to share with us?
Well, I have a couple of favorites. One was in, I think it was in Chicago, or maybe the St. Louis one. St. Louis. I like that one because of how beautiful it was and how amazing the kids section was, and this one because the kids section is huge, has a lot of different books and a lot of things for the kids to play.
And what's the significance of this particular library for you from 3 years ago?
This is the library that we visited 3 years ago on my birthday. And I actually only remembered it because of the parking lot. So, yeah.
And what's the significance of the dress you're wearing?
Well, this is the dress I wore for the last interview here.
And who gave that dress to you?
We got it from a friend named Trinity in, I believe, Maryland?
Delaware. Back in 2015, and we got to see Trinity again on this trip, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah. It's very, very fun. Who's this over to your side? Who's over here?
This is my little sister, Zyla. The last time we did this interview, she was running around, toddling around.
And she's quite a bit older now. Hi, Zyla.
Hi.
Your name is Zyla. What do you like about going to the libraries?
I like to play on the computers.
Oh, you especially like the computers this time around. What are you playing with right now?
Shells.
You found some shells. Wow, okay. Libraries have so many different kinds of things to play with.
Sure do.
Julie, do you want to tell us a little bit about one of the main books that we gave to the libraries?
Of course. One of the main books we got for the libraries was Sex is a Final Word.
And who is it by?
It is by Corey
Look
Silverberg.
at these shells.
Yes, and it has wonderful illustrations by Fiona Smythe, doesn't it?
Look at these shells.
Oh, you want to show me the shells?
These are really the shells.
Yeah, very, very cool. Thank you. And what's something that you think is really valuable about this book, and why it was so exciting that so many libraries already had it, and now we've been able to gift it to even more libraries?
So the reason I like this book so much is because of how it's written. It's not like a textbook. It's like a fun comic book kind of style that helps kids learn about it. And there are different chapters talking about different things, so I just like the way it's organized and how it talks about it.
How many times would you say you've read this book?
Well, let's see. I read it maybe 5 to 10 times or so.
So would you say it's a favorite?
Yes.
And who would you recommend as the audience for this book?
Well,
who would love to read this book?
I'd recommend this to 7 to 10-year-olds or so, or somewhere in that age group.
Nice. And did you hear that Corey is writing a book for teens?
I have, and I'm very excited about the publication of that book.
Yes, he's working on it this summer, so we're excited to see it as soon as possible. And tell me a little bit about the book, What Makes a Baby, that he wrote for 4-year-olds.
Well, What Makes a Baby it still has the same style and illustrations of Sex is a Funny Word, except it's more for younger children. It's not as, how do I describe this? Like Sex is a Funny Word, it isn't a textbook. It's more of a picture book, just talking about gender, sexuality, and diversity.
And it's very gender inclusive about how bodies make babies.
Yes.
But it doesn't talk so much about male and female bodies. It talks about bodies that have uteruses and bodies that have sperm and that sort of thing. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to share about the celebration tour that that you're especially grateful about?
Well, I'm especially grateful for that the director and narrator has so many friends, and how her friends have so many libraries near them.
It's pretty amazing how many libraries there are in this country, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I was surprised.
There's really one in every community, even when we just needed a spot to go have a pit stop, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you remind me of where we did that? Where we were needing to have a pit stop and we said, oh, wouldn't it be so nice to find a library? Do you remember where that was? That very, very little town on the way to Delaware?
It was in Maryland.
In Maryland, yes. That was really fun. And they had a great setup there for kids as well.
Yes.
So we've been pleasantly surprised by all of our travels, haven't we?
Of course we have.
Anything else you want to share, Julie?
No. I think I said about everything I wanted to say.
Great. What would you recommend if somebody wanted to give a book to a library? How should they do it?
Well, so first they should explain what kind of thing they're doing, and then give the book and talk about what they like about it, how it works, and stuff like that.
And can they give a paperback book?
Yes.
We've been giving some paperback books by Dr. Karen Rain and Sam Killerman, and those have been accepted. I think libraries often really like the hardcover books. And often if you can find a book that is just being published, so maybe when the teen version of Corey's book comes out, that would be a great one to donate to a library near you.
It probably would.
Well, thank you again, Julie, for coming along on this trip, and thank you, Zyla. You want to say goodbye, Zyla?
Bye.
Until next time.